Okay, welcome back to season 4 of Finance Bros, navigating the risks and riches in Singapore. So in today's episode, we'll be exploring how luxury car will be served as an alternative asset, especially in the investment scene, focusing on how the Singaporean car market and its role in wealth building. So let's dive in. As we know, many of the mass affluents are into luxuries car, and today's topic will be truly exciting since we get to deep dive into the theory of car investment, as well as inviting a guest speaker later on to share about the physical aspects of it. With both theory and real-life experiences, we hope this episode can shed some light on this asset class.
We all know that in Singapore, buying a car is a depreciating asset. But have you wondered why car is a depreciating asset, but car dealers still make money out of it? Are they not the same as us? Or is it how we view car is different from them? So before we dive deep into this topic, we want to understand this very important paper called the COE. So COE stands for Certificate of Entitlement. The first COE auction was introduced in 1st May 1990s to help to manage the fast-growing car population in Singapore. So prior to the introduction of COE, the growth of the car population was as high as 12% per annum. So can you imagine if there's no COE, how many cars will there be in Singapore and how bad our traffic can be in Singapore? So here is how the COE works. Okay, so firstly is through bidding process. COEs are obtained through an open bidding process. The Land Transport Authority (LTA) of Singapore conducts the COE auctions twice a month. So potential vehicle owners will submit the bids, and of course the COEs are awarded to the highest bidder. And of course COEs are categorized into 5 different types from A to E, and it's all based on capacity or CC. And we all know that in Singapore, a COE is valid only for 10 years. So after this period, vehicle owners have the option to either scrap it or export their vehicle, or they can renew the COE for another 5 or 10 years by paying the prevailing quota premium, which is called PQP, which is the average price of the COE prices in the previous 3 months. So COE is very important because it will affect the car prices. So the cost of COE will significantly affect the overall price of the vehicle. During the periods of high demand and limited supply, COE prices can be very high, making the car ownership very expensive. And the number of quotas of COE is also limited by the government, and it is determined by various factors such as the current vehicle population, road capacity, and policies aimed at promoting public transportation or reduce traffic congestion. And because it is limited in quantity and also because it works on the law of demand and supply, the timing to sell a car plays a very important role here. So, of all the things that I've said, have you considered this? So when the COE prices are high, do you think the demand for used car will go up? So let's check on some of the history here. For some years, this has been the case. COE prices were consistent up till 2010 when prices started to head upwards. So in April 2010, Cat B COE prices crossed 40,000 mark for the first time since 2002. By January 2013, both Cat A and Cat B exceeded 90,000. So if you can look at the timeline, about 2 years plus, the COE prices from 40,000 all the way increased until 90,000. So when the new car prices were very high because of COE, used cars become desirable due to a significant difference in cost as many were registered with low COEs. So if you can look at the annual vehicle statistics published by LTA, you can clearly see that when COEs are high, the number of new registered cars are lower as compared to the number of transferred cars. So high COE or low COE, what does it mean for my car and me? Right? Before we factor the current market valuation for your car, it's good to understand paper value. A lot of people say about paper value. So what exactly is paper value? Paper value is the combination of COE and PARF. And PARF, what I mean PARF is PARF. It's an acronym for Preferential Additional Registration Fee. So PARF rebates upon registration, so excluding the body value. So paper value in summarize is COE plus PARF rebate upon registration without including your body value. Okay, so before we understand more about PARF, I want to talk about this acronym again called OMV, Open Market Value. So what does open market value means? Open market value means is the value or the account that to account the cost of production of the car, including purchase price, shipping, insurance, and other incidental charges. So, if the vehicle is deregistered within 10 years of its first registration date, the registered owner can claim a path rebate. It's normally a percentage of the OMV, hence the term path car. So current COE, current as of now, 2025 COE are still very high. Okay, but if let's say the COE prices are low and my car has high COE, so what should I do? In many cases, owner of such car and dealers who hold such stocks will end up scrapping their cars earlier. So what it means is that if I buy a car that has a high COE, like currently if I buy a car right now, and maybe I'm not sure, 2 years, 3 years down the road, the COE starts to drop. So what should I do? Right? So in many cases, people will scrap their cars early. Okay, why would they do so? Because the annual depreciation for a new car can end up lower, along with the larger rebates for the high COE cars, thanks to the high paper value. And with all the promotion and overtrade options for a new car, getting yourself a new car might just be a better choice when the COE dips. So if I sell my low COE car, can I sell my low COE car for a profit? So a car with a lower COE might attract a slightly lower rebate upon deregistration. But you also can make some profit when you put in the car used market. So basically, you are using the open market strategy instead of scrapping it. Okay, so example, in 2018, COE prices for Cat A fluctuated between 41,000 at its highest in January to 23,000 in December. So 1 year, you can see that at the start, there's 41,000 at Cat A, and if you wait until end of the year, it becomes 23,000. So that's like about a 20,000 difference. So here's an example. If you have bought an Honda Jazz in January 2018 with a COE of 42,000, you will attract a deregistration value of 42,000. But at the same year, July 2018, instead of January, becomes July 2018, the COE drops to 25,000 and the deregistration value will become 31,000. And that's 10,000 difference. But if you put both vehicle on the used marketplace, okay, the Jazz with the cheaper COE will match the valuation of other similar cars that is registered with the higher COE. But such profits will not last long. If the COE dip even further lower than the 25,000, then both cars will not be much value to many car owners because they will just buy a new car instead. So we have talked about a few points, we can how we can make money using COEs or using selling of cars and this and that. But of course, there's this special market that is always there. Okay, so if your car is a rare model or has a special features that target niche market, then this enthusiast might be willing to pay a premium for it.
So basically, you would see cars maybe out there in the market if you log into SG Carmart. Maybe cars that are made of maybe GTR from Nissan, or you see the old Civic Type Rs. We're not talking about the new ones, we're talking about the old ones. And these are all sort of like collectibles for a lot of these JDM collectors. So these kind of cars would not go with the normal way of depreciation. In fact, they actually appreciated a lot more when a lot of these makers stop making some of these classic cars and selling it to Singapore. So to conclude this episode, in order to sell a car and make money from it, it really depends on the COE prices usually. Unless your car is a collectible item, then it will retain some value, or maybe even sell at a higher price than you first bought them. But no matter what, you always should do your own due diligence or research work before selling or buying your car. And in the next episode, we will invite a special guest who has a lot of experience in buying and selling some of these collectible cars. And we cannot wait to hear from him. So this will also sum up our season 4. And we hope you find the information that we share of value and insightful. So remember, the journey to financial success is ongoing and we're here to support you every step of the way. Stay tuned for our next episode. And until then, keep striving for your financial goals. So this is Jimmy and Simon signing off. Thank you.